Hey Globetrotters, welcome and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lori. Welcome to our community where we strive to educate, motivate, and inspire each other in all things travel related. In this video, you're going to see our tour of the Niagara Falls, starting on the Canada side, driving over to the American side to New York, and then back over again to the Canada side, to the Canadian side. You're going to see our tour on the Maid of the Mist boat, the famous Maid of the Mist. You're going to see our tour of the Skylon Tower, which is not the same as the CN Tower. It's shorter than the CN Tower, but you still get really great views around Ontario, around Niagara Falls, Canada. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you some other attractions in between the two and some of the eats. We're going to try some of the famous Canadian foods. I'm even going to try a Canadian bear and let you know my review on that. So be sure to subscribe. Be sure to click that thumbs up button and share it with others you know who love travel as well. Come along.
Falls, mini golf, museum of the movie stars, Niagara Brewing, and everything else for adults and children. When it lights up at night, it looks just like a mini Vega. So this is the most tourist area right here in Ontario. All right, everyone. All right, everyone, we're about to cross the International Rainbow Bridge. This is when you are going to prepare your passports. You don't have to bring everything with you, just your passports. So as soon as I stop at the American border or immigration, they're going to talk to me first, and then they let you out, go inside the building, and they check your passports. If you need to use the restrooms, there are restrooms right at the building. I suggest you do. We're going to see a glass of water, everyone. So right here, this is one of the most popular bridges because it's a pedestrian bridge. It takes about a quarter of a mile or 20 minutes to walk to Canada or US. This is what connects US and Canada. At this point, you are looking at the American and Bridal Veil Fall. Further down, the Canadian Falls. That is the Niagara River, and you are going to do the Maid of the Mist on the American side. I'm going to stop right at the Boundary International Line. This is what connects Canada and US, right in front over here, the flags, Canada and USA. And we are right here in the middle. Right here, guys. You can see that plate, they say International Boundary Line. So half of the bus is in Ontario, and half of the bus is in the USA. So welcome everyone to Niagara Falls, New York. There are other bridges that connect Canada and USA. There is Peace Bridge, and there is also Queenstown-Lewiston Bridge, and Whirlpool Bridge. Rainbow is most popular because it's pedestrian bridge. So right now we're going to stop right here. I just gotta wait for an officer to talk to me, and then you can go inside. I'm going to show you exactly the procedure. Okay, these boats actually are electric. They're new boats. They were actually put in the water 2020. They are 100% emission free. There were diesel boats before when they started, 1846. They have one for backup, Okay, and it's a famous boat because they filmed a lot of movies right here with that boat, especially a movie named A Man Named Otto was filmed right here and by the Maid of the Mist. And they used the old boat. Okay, also these boats are 2 levels. You can do level 1 or 2 front of the boat. There are stairs to go up or down. Okay, if you would like that, regardless, you're gonna go around the 3 falls and get wet. What do you think, guys? You're gonna get all that mist. Okay, yeah. You're gonna get that mist, but don't worry, this is the freshest water in the world. Your hair are gonna come out curly up. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Right? So honestly, so the 2 boats actually are privately owned family. They used to do Canada and US. Back then, when they started as a ferry, they used to transport people to Canada. When they started the first bridge and they built it, then they started as a tourist boat. Then Canada brought their own boats 2014. So Canada have 2 diesel, America have 2 electric.
Welcome aboard the all-new, all-electric Maid of the Mist. For your safety, life jackets and printed instructions on how to wear them are stored and displayed in various locations throughout the vessel. We encourage you to take a few moments to find the closest location to you and review the instructions. Also, for your own safety, please keep your hands and feet inside the boat at all times. Please refrain from standing on the seats or the metal boxes on the deck of the boat. Zero-emission boats offer an experience that is undisturbed by engine noise, vibration, or exhaust fumes, and are unlike any others that journey to the heart of Niagara Falls. If you look to your left, you'll see the American Falls. It is 180 feet high, or about 55 meters. 12,000 years ago, the falls were 7 miles, or about 11 kilometers downriver at Lewiston. You see them now at their present location because of erosion. This happens at a rate of approximately 6 feet, or 2 meters a year. Most of the rock at the base of the falls fell during 2 spectacular rock slides in 1931 and 1954. The small falls to the right of the American Falls is called the Bridal Veil. The walkway at its foot leads to the...
See all those little white specks?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
We are now approaching the Canadian, or Horseshoe Falls. It is approximately 170 feet high, or 52 meters. Its break is 2,500 feet long, or 760 meters. Here, daredevils have made their bid for fame. The first, in 1901, was a school teacher named Annie Taylor. Annie was 63 years old when she went over the falls in a wooden barrel. Annie lived. In 1960, an almost unbelievable event occurred. A 7-year-old boy named Roger Woodward was swept over the falls, wearing a bathing suit and a simple life jacket. It was a miracle that he survived. Roger was rescued almost at this exact spot by a Maid of the Mist boat. To the far left of the Horseshoe Falls is Terrapin Point, where the international borderline between the United States and Canada lies. Beneath us, the water plunges to a depth of 180 feet, or 55 meters. The water that flows over the falls comes from 4 of the 5 Great Lakes. From here, the water goes down the Niagara River, into Lake Ontario, into the St. Lawrence River, and finally to the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, it's not me. That's not my primary. That was awesome! Woo! Do it again! Yes! It's a bucket list type of thing. Nothing.
It's prohibited to go rafting, boating, or swimming right here. This is the Lori River. 3 miles from here is the upper river. You're allowed to go swimming or boating. Salmon and trout are number 1 here in USA and in Canada. There are parts that you can go fishing over here too, and also in Canada, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to spend about 10 minutes here. I'm going to show you all of the more history here too. And I'm going to show you the bridge that actually have 18 under gates. They open and closes to control the water and maintain the beauty of the falls. Okay, I'm going to show you all of that. Please wait for me on the right. Alright everyone, the reason I wanted to talk to you
This is why I travel, guys. See the wonders of God, like stuff like this. No human could make this. See? Don't you want to come see this? This is why I travel. Exactly why I travel. Three Sisters Island. It's the second sister. There's our hotel. All the way there. There she is. Look at this one. This is the third sister.
and they reopen back in the springtime. All right, everyone, this is the time where you are preparing your passports. And again, an officer comes to talk to me first, and then you go inside the building, check your passports, and back to the bus.
Me too. You are already asleep.
No, I wasn't asleep. I was
A big mass of ice came from Lake Erie and literally stopped the waterfalls. Because it was such a big mass of ice, it took a while to melt. And a lot of people thought, oh, we don't hear the water. The locals thought it was the end of the world. So at the end of the day, the glacier or the mass of ice actually melted. But because of that, they have the ice boom bridge right at Lake Erie, and that holds the ice in the winter time, and they release it in the springtime. That is when the boats actually know when to open, because the river can actually freeze over too. And many people, because it freezes over, think they can go in ice skating. They cannot do that. They'll get arrested too. So yes, many things, like I say, everyone, it can get 20 below. We had a lot of snow. And during Christmas time, we had a big storm that lasted for about 4 days this year. But USA actually gets the salt for the snow from Canada. So at one point, it actually ran out because it was so much snow going on. But yes, they do get the salt from Canada. Also, as you know, Nikola Tesla was one of the geniuses in alternating energy. He worked with George Westinghouse, Thomas Edison, and all of these geniuses in electricity. And Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse were the ones to promote their first generators in Chicago back in 1901. And actually, they used it back at Edward Adams power plant in Niagara Falls, New York, which is not active anymore, but that was the first power plant that they used the generators to send electricity 20 miles to Buffalo. All right, everyone, so let me tell you also about 1901. The first person they went over with a barrel, October 24th, 1901. Annie Taylor was a teacher, 63 years old. Again, at that time, a lot of things were happening in 1901. A lot of people come to events. And she asked her manager to collect the money while she do the stunt. So Annie Taylor took advantage also. It was her birthday. She wanted to do something crazy. She had a wine barrel. According to the history, she drank the wine before she went inside the barrel. Now, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Annie Taylor went inside her barrel, went over the Canadian Falls. She survived, but her manager ran away with her money. There was no money for Annie Taylor. After Annie Taylor, everyone, 16 others went over and 5 survived. Now, 1980, Steve Trotter, a daredevil, he tried it for the first time. He was only 20 years old. He went over with a barrel. He got stuck at the brink of the falls. He got arrested, paid a fine of $500 and 1 week in jail. That was back then. He wanted to try it again, 1996, with his girlfriend in a bigger barrel. He went over the Canadian Falls, him and his girlfriend, and they survived. This time they paid a fine of $14,000 and 6 months in jail. Robert actually tried it with a jet ski and a parachute. He came all over from Grand Island to the river to the Canadian Falls. He went over, did not survive. Until this day, everyone, a lot of people still try it with parachutes, jet skis, boats, motorcycles, bicycles, cars, any object that they have for intention or attention or any other reason. But because it costs so much money to save someone, Canada and USA signed a contract. They charge $10,000 fine and 6 months in jail if you survive. And again, until this day, it's still happening. There's a lot of pictures to take here. The moose actually is popular. They use 5 lots to build this moose right here. You also have a nice picture where the waterfalls with a barrel. If you wanted to pretend to go over with a barrel, that is the picture, everyone. So the restaurant is right on the right. Souvenir shop is right here. I'm going to meet you back in front of the shop right here.
Time for the and all this came up to $78. I'm gonna try the Canadian famous poutine, the French poutine, which is basically just French fries and gravy and cheese under there. Yeah, it's a texture for me. I can't do the texture. Editing Lori here. I have to interject as you watch this footage as we drive through the Niagara Falls residential area back to downtown Ontario. I really do not mean to offend anyone who is a lover of poutine or any French Canadian, maybe the Quebec folks who watch, who are lovers of poutine. It just was not my vibe. I'm just, but actually the initial bite was a bit strange. And then it kind of grew on me because I kept eating a little bit of it. So, and it wasn't just because I was hungry. So I actually enjoyed it a little bit. But my son said he's going to try to make it for me and try to maybe like do the fries in the air fryer so that they're much crispier and they will be able to be sturdy and withstand the gravy without completely going soggy. And when I did a bit of research on it, I saw that the fries are supposed to be crispy, and that then the gravy and the cheese curds are supposed to complement the crispy fries and not just gravy poured over and sitting there soggy. So just had to explain that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, everyone, welcome to downtown Ontario. This is where we are going to finish our tour, right here at Ontario downtown. Right here coming up is one of the beautiful gardens too. It's called Oaks Garden. And this garden was donated by Sir Oaks. This garden actually is also taken care of by the students, and it has a big amplified theater. Lots of couples also celebrated weddings here. And it's nice to just sit down and see the waterfalls. Coming right on the left is the Canadian boat. It's called the Niagara Cruise. Also, if you like zip line, it's next to the boat, right there. It's called the zip line over the falls. It does not go over the falls. Don't get any ideas, everyone. It's just called zip line over the falls. That's another attraction right here in downtown. Alright, looking over here, everyone, this is the Niagara Parks, also established 1885. Niagara Parks Commission is a self-funded agency. They are in charge of hiring every year over 1,500 young kids on their summer vacation for the gift shops, pedestrian, and traffic. So they do work all summer in their vacation time. And that is the Niagara Parks. Every time they get all of the money from the tourists, they actually put in more and more in the city. So as you see, all these flowers are already, this is how they start. We had a long winter. That is the reason they started late. Over here, Superman 2, the film, was actually filmed here. Also, Niagara, when Marilyn Monroe was filmed here in 1956. The Canadian Falls, as you can see, everyone, I told you earlier that 90% of the water comes into Canada. It's called also the Horseshoe Falls, and it's a Native American name. Also, the Niagara River is a Native American name, and it means thundering water. And as I said earlier, it's called also the Daredevil Falls. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen yet the illumination of the falls, that starts at 9 o'clock, and the fireworks at 10 p.m. So if you look at this tower right there, these are the lights right here in Canada, and the ones in the US, they look like speakers. So both countries pay for the lights, and there are LED lights, brighter lights. They used to be xenon lights. They changed it to LED. Oh my goodness, I did not know it was so busy in here. Wow. In a few minutes, everyone, I'm going to stop at Table Rock so you can view this beautiful view from the Canadian side. I'm going to give you a little time here. And then from here, we go to the Skylon Tower. If you are also interested, there is another attraction open 2021. It's called the Tunnel. And that is a tunnel that goes down 180 feet, and you walk the tunnel about 2,000 feet, and you see all three falls at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to show you that. And that is called the Niagara Falls Power Station. That is not active anymore, but they made it into a tunnel. Alright, looking on the right, everyone, that is one of the power stations. It does not work anymore, it's not active anymore since 1904. So they built a tunnel, and it's a beautiful attraction if you want to do that later. Everybody, please look on the left. If you want to look on the left, that over there is a barge. It's like a boat. It's been there since 1918. It only moved one time due to a storm, and it moved back and it broke in 3 pieces. It's history right here in Canada, and they do not want to remove it. Coming right here on the right, everyone, this is called the floral or the flower. Yeah, floral show house. It's another garden inside, all type of flowers if you like that. I think it's free admission, but it's another attraction here. And this power station over here on the right, it's been here since 1906. It stopped electricity 1975. They are trying to do a museum or a hotel. We're not sure yet. Now you're looking at right now the currents of the Canadian Falls. And again, guys, these are going about 50 miles an hour. And this is where people try to do the most stupid things, wet barrels and all of that stuff. Now, let me tell you guys, if I tell you, the people sometimes don't think. Sometimes you see those signs, it says dangerous, please do not go too close. A family actually, one of the persons was talking on the cell phone, dropped it in the river. What do you think he did? He jumped to get it.
Oh my God.
Miraculously, they saved him. And they asked him what he was looking for. He said it was a very important phone call.
Oh my God.
Too late, everybody. The phone was already by the falls, maybe. But yeah, that's what happens. He actually went and got his phone. I don't know how. He thought he was going to find it. Misty here, guys, but that is the waterfalls, not raining. It's the waterfalls, guys. Oh yeah, it's misty. Wow. Stop here for a few minutes, but let me tell you something that happened here before you go. Anybody remember or heard of Nick Walenda? Nick Walenda, the one that walks the tightrope?
Oh yeah.
All right. Nick Walenda was sponsored by Canada and USA. He actually did a stunt going over with a tightrope, okay? And he actually arrived right here at Table Rock. This happened June 15, 2012. Lots of people were waiting to see Nick Walenda, okay? So Nick Walenda started from the USA with a tightrope, 1,800 foot.
Mero, 7 tons. It took weeks and weeks to put that there, and weeks to rehearse, okay? So Nick Walenda started right from Court Island, where I took you. It took him 25 minutes during the illumination of the falls at nighttime, and he arrived right here at Table Rock in 25 minutes. 2 officers were waiting for him. What do you think they asked for him, guys?
Passport.
They asked for his passport. What did they ask him? Passport. He looked at the officers. I'm sorry, but I'm a daredevil. I was sponsored by Canada. Sorry, sir. You gotta go back 1,800 foot or take a taxi. He took a taxi, everyone. That was Nick Walenda. That was a stunt here, June 15, 2012. He's still doing it. After here, he went to the Grand Canyon. And he's still doing all this type of crazy stunt.
I'm gonna walk all the way around. You clear the way for me.
Oh, yeah.